was in November that Governor WALZ shut the dine-in restaurants down. There was no law that allowed Governor WALZ to do what he did. So we opened up within 24 to 48 hours. The state came down on us with a vengeance. I was given sentenced to 90 days, which was the max sentencing.
At the tone, please leave the following information: your name, your callback number, how the stay-at-home order is being violated, and where the stay-at-home order was violated. Thank you.
Okay, first you heard from a small business owner just outside Minneapolis, a mother of 8 and a grandmother, speaking out, saying she was jailed for 90 days under Governor Tim Walz's COVID shutdown orders for trying to keep open her bistro cafe to make a living for her family. And you also heard Governor Walz's hotline for neighbors to snitch on each other if they violated his stay-at-home orders. Joining us now, a Minnesota small business owner, Andrew Hulse. Mr. Hulse owns several high-end salons. It's good to have you on the show, sir. What was it like owning and operating a small business under Governor Walz's leadership during COVID?
Well, it was pretty stressful. And first of all, thanks for having me, Liz. But it was extremely stressful. I'd say it was probably the most stressful time of my life. On March 17th at 9:43 p.m., we got notice that we were being shut down. Effective immediately. So we had no notice whatsoever. Our customers didn't have any notice. Our employees didn't have any notice. You know, some of the other industries they gave a few days notice to, maybe a week's notice to. In our case, we got the order at 9:43 at night, and then we were closed the next day.
Well, it's terrifying. Yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I was just going to say, and so you go from, you know, as he had talked about some of these shutdowns, his whole plan was, well, just, you know, put your people on unemployment, which, you know, would work for some employees. But as a small business owner, for example, I didn't qualify for unemployment. So I went to zero income overnight. And at the same time, you know, Governor WALZ and, you know, his staff, they were happy to sit home and collect a paycheck. Well, that's not something that I could do. Yeah, that's an important point you just made. You know, it's really it shows how catastrophically wrong governors like Tim Walz and politicians and officials were wrong to just go ahead and shut down mom and pop shops while they kept the big box stores open and strip bars and more. We've got more. Let's get your reaction to fellow small business owners talking about this government overreach. This is what Tim Walz is saying, that socialism is neighborly. You're going to hear also video of the Minneapolis police sergeant who says Tim Walz abandoned the 3rd precinct in Minneapolis, letting it and neighborhoods burn to the ground during the 2020 riots. Also, small businesses burned to the ground. Listen to all of this. Watch.
I heard the governor say, give it up. It wasn't directly to me, it was through a phone call. No, the governor says, give up the precinct. I mean, that's demoralizing for this whole state.
If he gets to become the vice president, he needs to learn how to love the people here, and especially Minnesota, because of the destruction that happened during his watch. I mean, he could be a good person, but he also needs to understand the people, the sufferings that they're going through.
You want to have empathy, but you also have to have empathy for the victims of the criminals. And if you just have empathy for the criminals, it's actually shallow empathy. It's not real. You're not thinking.
You just left California for a lot of those reasons. And what she's done with crime, with cashless bail, where you kill somebody. I mean, we have states there, you kill somebody and they let you out right away. I mean, you don't have to even put up, and then they never find the people unless they kill again, and then they let them out again. Our country is becoming a very dangerous place.
That's President Trump and Elon Musk on Kamala Harris, and you heard about Tim Walz there. Sir Andrew, what do you want voters to know about Tim Walz?
Well, you know, he's not good in a crisis. You know, when COVID first came out, when the lockdowns first happened, he wanted some sort of mathematical model to make decisions on. So he hired the University of Minnesota to create this mathematical model. Well, he got this model, and this model predicted, you know, catastrophic deaths. it didn't even pass the sniff test. But he used this to justify his emergency powers, and he continued to use it, even though it became very apparent very quickly that the model was dramatically flawed. And I don't have any issue with the students and the faculty that tried to put it together, but once you have new data, you have to be able to adjust course, and he simply couldn't do that.
He didn't do that. Small business owner Andrew Hulse, thanks for sharing your experience with us. We're so sorry what you went through. We'll stay on the coverage here, okay? It's good to have you on. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Vengeance, vengeance. Sentence, sentence. Snitch on, snitch on. Catastrophically, catastrophically. Overreach, overreach. Precinct, precinct. Demoralize, demoralize. Shallow, shallow. Sniff test, sniff test. Flawed, flawed.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.